Good afternoon. We finally get going. Hopefully this stream holds up. I literally just did a members stream earlier, YouTube members stream, about 10 minutes before this one, and the webcam went off. I fixed it, then it went again. It wouldn't work, and then my internet went down. So who knows if this is going to hold up? Anyway, we will hope for the best. We'll hope for the best. Hopefully you're all doing well. I've still not made a transfer. I'm still not entirely sure about doing Mason Mount to Shaw, Kukureya. I'm going to pretty much captain Haaland, though. Slip of the tongue there. Going to pretty much captain Mitrovic, I think. My biggest issue is whether just to make a move. And my instinct right now is to not make a move and just roll the transfer. But I don't know for sure. I don't know for Luke Shaw. Is Cancelo going to play it? I don't know. I don't know. But if not, I've got Patterson on the bench, who's amazing. I'm slightly more confident about Cancelo starting than Foden, but I really don't know. Bench Cancelo, Trippier, Almiron, or White. I think personally I would probably bench Cancelo or Trippier. I think if Cancelo starts, maybe slightly better than Trippier, but given that that's not a guarantee, I think I would play Trippier ahead of Cancelo. I know a lot of people that wouldn't agree with that, but that's probably where I would go. Would you advise De Bruyne to Sterling Mount and then switch back for City's double game week? If you've got De Bruyne and you want him for the double, I would just hold him. I wouldn't use two transfers to get in Sterling or Mount, to be honest. Your defence is very weak this game week. Sure, I don't think it's that bad. It's nothing I'm particularly worried about. Like if I change James to Kukureya or Shaw, then yeah, of course I would bench Cancelo or Trippier. Is that worth it over a extra free transfer next week? Possibly. I think it's quite a fine margin. I think that's pretty much what I'm looking at. Is James possibly out? Otherwise, nothing. I think that's pretty much it. I have two free transfers. Should I sell Wilson for Mitrovic captain as a 1 week punt and bench Marte? Why is it a 1 week punt, by the way? Then why buy Wilson back, or should I just burn a transfer? I would just do Wilson to Mitrovic and probably just keep him, to be honest. I wouldn't burn a transfer. No, I would definitely do Wilson to Mitrovic. Even if you're not captaining him, I would do that. Would you do Martial for Mitrovic with only one free transfer? Probably. De Bruyne to Sterling? Probably not. Raya or Ward starting. So Raya has got Liverpool, right? And Ward's got Fulham. So I'll go Ward. Use one of my two free transfers for Martial to Mitrovic. Should I use my second one this week for James to Short or roll the transfer? Been giving me a headache all day. Yeah, I guess I'm in the same position, right? Because I've only got one free transfer. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. My instinct is probably to just hold the transfer, and two free transfers next week could work or could be helpful. But I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, to be honest with you. If you want to get Shaw, get Shaw. Hello, you're all the way in South Africa. Nice. Foden out, should I bring in Rashford or Mount? You've probably got to bring in Mount, I guess, because of the double. There's every chance that Rashford outscores in this week. Got two frees and more confused. If Bournemouth score, the Shaw pick seems silly. Yeah, but you can't think like that. Ultimately, Shaw against Bournemouth is a good pick. I don't think anyone could argue with that. It could go wrong, of course. That is FPL. But if it doesn't go wrong, happy days. Happy damn days. Like, if I had two free transfers, I would almost certainly do James to Shaw or Cucurella and just roll. And I wouldn't worry about whether Shaw concedes against Bournemouth or not, You can only make the best decision with the information you've got. And on paper, Shaw is a good option, right? Would you do Martial for Mitrovic only for one free transfer? I think I already answered that, but yes. I did. Yeah, bench Marcelli or Darwin Nunez. You can't, like this. I said this on the member stream earlier. This stream is going to be horrible. You cannot ask me questions like benching Marcelli or Darwin Nunez. Flick a coin. My instinct is to play to play Darwin Nunez over Martinelli, but I wouldn't want to bench either. I know you've probably got Andreas Pereira, I get it, and I would play him ahead of both, but still. People are having to bench some really horrible players. I'm pretty sure I'm going to captain Mitrovic, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I've kind of gone off Mount a bit. Part of me just wants to do James to Cucurella and just have that extra double game week, but I just don't know if that is the play. The other problem is, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking Luke Shaw a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, if Luke Shaw has a double in game week 20, I'll probably just bring him in anyway, which kind of makes me think I should do it this week. But it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. So I could do... Where is... Will this work? Let me see. Can I just leave that there a second? Yeah, okay. So this is... Oh, just about works. So this is my team for this week, apart from I'm playing Cancelo as it stands. So I could do James to Shaw, right? That is a move I can make. I got to be honest. I don't know who I would. It's almost giving me a headache about who to bench out of Trippier and Cancelo, because my initial instinct is to bench Cancelo, but I just got this feeling now that he's going to play. So I could do that, for example. But then you don't. If Shaw doesn't have a double in game week 20, then you don't really play him that much. I don't think. I think I would. Would I play Patterson? I might even play Patterson ahead of both of White and Shaw. And in game week 21, Arsenal away for Shaw, Man United at home for Ben White. So I would probably play Cancelo, Trippier, and then I guess I would play Ben White again. I don't know. That's probably a close call. And then game week 22, Palace at home. That's probably when I would play Luke Shaw again. I mean, if Cancelo's regularly starting, I'd probably just play him every week. You're just not playing Luke Shaw that much. I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm kind of a little bit stuck. I'm just not confident in any of the moves, and part of me just thinks because of that I should just roll and hope for the best, and hope I don't drop too much red arrow wise. That's all. That's kind of my current thinking, I guess. Darwin to Havertz or Mitrovic? Mitrovic, or just stick with Darwin and have 2 free transfers? I think if you want to captain Mitrovic, I would do Darwin to Mitro. But there is part of me that just wouldn't want to make that move. I guess it depends if you're happy captaining someone else. I wouldn't go Darwin to Havertz. Who would you start? Foden, White or Dunk? I don't know if Foden starts. Because of that, I'd probably go Ben White, but it doesn't sound fun at all. Captain Rashford or Salah? I would go Salah out of the 2. I think. Arv, thank you very much for upgrading your membership. Would you take Darwin Almiron for Mitro Mount? Probably not. I'd probably just do one of the moves for Mitrovic. Excuse me, young man. This is the FPL Nan. Okay. Who should I bench to get Andreas in for the double? Martinelli, Darwin, or De Bruyne? Oh my god. I guess De Bruyne. But like benching De Bruyne, like, by the way, I might even just stop answering these questions because they can only go wrong. Having to bench one of Martinelli, De Bruyne, or Darwin Nunez, that is going to go wrong no matter who you pick. Like, they could all do well. They could all do better than Andreas, but I guess De Bruyne, but De Bruyne, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I get it though. Can I transfer out Cancelo for Cucurella as City keep a clean sheet and the double is difficult? I mean, you can do, but I wouldn't do that. I think if Cancelo gets his place back, then he's got a double game week next week anyway. Path became a member. Thank you very much. I believe you're re-becoming a member, right? I think. King of Mandalore. Bench one of Martinelli, Pereira, Rashford, or Darwin. Nah, I'm not answering these questions anymore. Given how rushed you've been this morning and the IT issues, bet you're looking forward to sitting and watching the game with a brew. I'm just looking for. I mean, the thing is, it's kind of annoying because we had the whole World Cup off, then it's like a super rush for FPL. Then we've got another break now because of the FA Cup. Like, obviously, it'd be nice to be a bit more calm and for longer, but it is what it is. I don't think I can answer these questions. Bench one of Martinelli, Prayer, Rashford, or Darwin. My instinct is Martinelli again, but again, hate it. Bench two, Cancelo, Trippier, White, Almiron. I mean, I'd probably bench Cancelo and Trippier. Ugh, hate it. Sell Martial or Darwin for Mitrovic. Martial. The only thing is, in isolation, I would definitely sell Martial over Darwin because long term, I think Darwin Nunez is a better option. And by the way, Ahmed, thank you very much for 60 months and 5 months for Malay. But obviously, Darwin Nunez would free up some money, so it depends whether you need that money. But in isolation, I would get rid of Martial. How is Koulibaly as a pick? I wouldn't go there. I don't think his minutes are necessarily 100% secure. I don't know. I'm kind of flip-flopping with Chelsea defenders. I don't know if I think they're okay or I absolutely hate them. Sterling captain over Mitrovic due to yellows. I think if you told me that Sterling was definitely going to start both games, I think there's a case to be made that he's a good captain this week. I don't know how sure that is, though. So I'd probably go Mitrovic. But I think Sterling's pretty good if he starts twice, but that's not guaranteed. Really worth doing Martial to Mitrovic 1 free transfer. All I can tell you is I would do that. I wouldn't like it. He's got Bournemouth at home. Martial could absolutely, 2 goals, 3 goals, who knows? But I would want Mitrovic, I think. Go Nunez and Trent. Or Kane and Gabriel on wildcard. Wildcard already, as we've just had unlimited transfers. I guess Nunez. I don't know. I've not given wildcard any thought. I feel like I'd rather have Nunez than Kane. Now, would I? I'll say Kane and Gabriel, but I don't know. I'm not giving that a huge amount of thought, obviously. With the Mitrovic yellow card situation, if he got booked in the Leicester game and then went on and got a second yellow, could he then serve his suspension in the FA Cup instead of the Chelsea match? Possibly. I don't know the rules there. I think red cards can be served in the Cup. But then he'd have a red card. So I don't know if it's that much better, to be honest. I did see a couple of leaks saying that Simicast was starting, but I don't know how accurate they are. Thoughts on Darwin to Mitrovic? Darwin has great numbers and decent fixtures going. Mitrovic fixtures look bad, is that? Look bad coming up with a double is tempting. Yeah, I think Darwin Nunez to Mitrovic is one of the hardest calls this week, honestly, because I would want Darwin going forward. I think if you're someone that really wants to captain Mitrovic, I would do it. If you're going to get Mitrovic in and not captain him, I would probably just keep Darwin. Out of all the Martial to Mitrovic, I think I would do it. I think whether or not to do James to Shaw or Cucurella is quite close. I think you can go either way. Darwin to Mitrovic is probably even harder. Captain's choice, Rashford or Haaland? I'd go Haaland. Should I bring in Mount for Foden if it means benching Martinelli or Rashford? Probably not. I would just save the transfer, I think. Foden's got a double next week, right? Your points and ranks are arranged badly. Oh, yeah. No. Wait, what? Hang on. Let me see that. I don't want to... That does look wrong, though. I've got to be honest. That does look very wrong. Right now, I missed the all-out attack chip. Yeah, could have been handy this week. It would have been very handy this week for a lot of people. Like if the all-out attack chip was a thing, I would have definitely started 3-4-3. I think with Andreas. Okay, I think that's right now. Let me just save that. Okay, it should be correct now. Why do I hate Cucurella? I hate everybody. I absolutely hate everybody. Would you consider any Villa defenders? Good run of fixtures looking generally better under Emery. Yeah, I think Luka Dean's okay, but again, I don't know if I want to go out of my way to get him this week or anything. I think they're okay. I think because of the good fixtures, you could maybe make an argument they're slightly better short term than someone like Luke Shaw, possibly. Martial to Mitrovic, or play Martial and Darwin and replace James with an Arsenal defender on the bench for future weeks. Probably get Mitrovic. Is there merit in transferring Havertz over Mitrovic because his next game, Palace at home, is better than Mitrovic's Newcastle away? Not really. Mitrovic's minutes are kind of guaranteed and stuff. What's that app where you can look at other games? Not sure what you mean. The planner is on FPL.team, if that's what you mean. Is Gakpo playing? I don't think so. And do I captain Mount, Andreas or Haaland? I think out of those I'd go Mason Mount. But don't blame me if it goes really wrong. From Mount, Andreas, Haaland, who to captain? That's exactly the same question. If I can afford Sterling instead of Mount, is it a good move? I think Sterling is better than Mount if they both play the same minutes. But Mount's minutes are generally better. I think the Sterling punt over Mount is not that bad. Whether you should captain him ahead of Mitrovic, probably not. Who do I bench for Mitrovic out of Martial, Martinelli, Rashford or Andreas? Probably Martinelli. I think you can make a case for Martial just because I'm not 100% sure of his minutes. But given the fixture, I'd probably bench Martinelli, but it's horrible. Do I go Nketiah to Mitrovic? I probably would, but again, not a very nice decision to have to make. Good luck with all these absolutely horrible decisions, by the way. Yeah, it looks like Simicast is starting, so Robertson isn't. Does bench boost make sense? Probably not for most people, I would say. Giving her an extra key. Who do you prefer to start? Show or Almiron? Who's Show? Shaw? That's close. I'd probably start Almiron. I'd probably start the attacker. Bench Cancelo or Ben White? I would probably... The thing is, Cancelo is quite likely to play, I think. I don't know why. Maybe it's like I said earlier, it's blind faith, blind hope. I don't know. But I've just got a feeling he'll play. Who was the other option? Cancelo or someone? I can't remember what the question was now. Or Ben White. Ben White's got a good chance of a clean sheet, but not as much attacking threat. I don't know. I think it's close. I'd probably start Ben White just for the off chance that Cancelo doesn't start again, but I think he probably will play. Good luck with all these horrible decisions. Basically, my mindset at every deadline. Yeah, I mean, there are some game weeks that are easier than others. I think one where you've got a bench and players that are really in form and just great options is tough. But I think Andreas Pereira is, for a lot of people, has done enough, right? Did you see that the referee who's got the Fulham game has handed out 75 yellows in 17 Championships games this season? I think someone did link that to me, on Reddit. Maybe Mitrovic gets a yellow, and maybe this is a horrible decision, but I'm going to do it anyway. Bench Martinelli or Martial? Probably Martinelli. What does James, Thiago Silva and Saka or Martinelli to Mount sound? I wouldn't get rid of either of the Arsenal boys, Smith. It is worth noting that Saka is on 4 yellow cards, so that is a potential issue. But it's not an issue right now. I'm just going to... Hang on a sec. Sorry, I was just looking at something. So Nunez for Mitrovic, absolutely doing my head in. I think if you want to captain him, yeah, I would probably do it. But again, hate it. I absolutely hate it. Frankie de Jong has reportedly changed his mind on the transfer to Man United and wants to join them in the summer. He has told Erik ten Hag. Of course he has. Of course he has. That is one I'll believe when I see it. I don't think there's any need to worry about that. I can't bother to go through that saga again. Simicast starts, so I'm going to assume that Robertson doesn't start. 2 free transfers have James, no Mitrovic. Want to roll one priority. Mitrovic probably, I would say. Be boring and go Haaland or be brave and go Mitrovic. I mean, a lot of people would probably tell you that the brave choice is to go against Mitrovic. You know? Could be. But I'm going brave, if you want to call it brave. I don't really see it as... I don't really see calling Mitrovic brave in a double, to be honest. Martial to Mitrovic for a -4. Yes, if you want to captain him, but I'm not sure about that one. From when he gets into -4 territory, it's a little bit more difficult. I don't have Pereira because I started off in a 3-5-2. I mean, if I went back in time, I probably would go 3-4-3. But it's done now. Bench Martinelli or Martial, probably Martinelli. Bench Martinelli or Foden. Bench Cancelo or Trippier. I personally would probably bench Cancelo, but it's kind of close. I mean, obviously Man City better defence. Playing Saka and White. I would probably bench Cancelo, I think, out of those two. Cancelo to Trent or Foden to Saka, Odegaard, Almiron. I wouldn't do Cancelo to Trent, so probably Foden to one of those two. Definitely not Almiron. Out of Saka, Odegaard and Almiron. Saka, I guess. But you could just keep Foden if you wanted to. Sell Wilson or Martial for Mitrovic. Martial, I think. Yeah, if you Wilson's a bit annoying because he's got a difficult fixture this week, and obviously you might lose money on him again. But he's also got better long-term fixtures, I think. On that basis, I think he plays. I'm playing Cancelo over Trippier. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's pretty close. I think they both concede, to be honest with you. I think City will concede, even though it's Chelsea, and I think Newcastle will concede as well. Which makes you think maybe I should just do James to Shaw and bench one of my defenders, but I can't. I almost just don't want to even think about it. It will be annoying if I don't get Luke Shaw and then he doubles in 20. I gotta be honest, because it is extra points this week, but I don't know. It's a hard knock life. Nunez to Havertz. I don't like that, no. Zaha to Mount or Wilson to Mitrovic. I'd prefer Wilson longer term, but I think Mitrovic is a better option than Mount, so I'll say Mitrovic. Thoughts on James to Shaw for free to bench White and play Cancelo? Yeah, it's okay. I've seen a few people doing that. I mean, I honestly think there's every chance all three of my defenders concede this week, to be honest with you. I'm heavily relying on my attack, I think. Also, who will you bench, Almiron or Martinelli? I would definitely bench Almiron out of those two, and I don't think it's necessarily that close, really. Start 2 of these 3 players, Almiron, Martial, and Andreas. Again, I would definitely bench Almiron out of those 3, and I wouldn't really have to think about it too much. And again, it's not like Almiron's a good option, but he's playing Arsenal away, and there's loads of other midfielders with better fixtures this week. So if you're going to play Andreas, then I would definitely bench Almiron. Struijk at Leeds, good fixtures for the next 7. The problem is he plays for Leeds, and I would not trust their defence whatsoever. Like, put it this way, I think I would rather bring in a Fulham defender than a Leeds defender, I think, just because of the double. I just wouldn't go for either. I'd bench Almiron over Martinelli. No, my like Almiron gets a brace and Martinelli blanks. Possibly, but I think that's the right call, to be honest with you. Bench Martinelli, Wilson, or Trossard. Who has Trossard got? Brighton. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, it's got Everton away. So Everton away, Arsenal away, Newcastle at home. Oh my god. I guess you Trossard or Wilson. I really don't like benching penalty takers like Wilson. So just because of that, I'd probably say Trossard. But if you want to play Trossard, I would bench Wilson. I would play Martinelli either way. Leeds have great fixtures. They do, but their defense. Well, they might do. They do because I looked at Rodrigo, but their defense is awful. Like I know there's not a huge amount of defenders that people want to go for right now, but we are not in such a bad place that we need to go for Leeds defenders. Surely. They're definitely keeping a clean sheet this week now, aren't they? What to do with Robertson? 1.3 million about 1 free transfer. Playing Trippier and Akanji with only Bueno and Patterson on the bench. Play Wilson or Martinelli. I'd probably play Martinelli. If you've only got 1 free transfer, you could just roll. Patterson, Bueno, they're okay this week, I think. If you want Robbo long term, I would do that. If you don't, then I would transfer Robertson out for, I guess, an Arsenal defender, maybe. Or Shaw. Depends if you already tripled up on Arsenal. Andreas, Martinelli, Saka, Rashford, and Andreas, Martinelli, Saka, Rashford, and Andreas. That's 2 Andreases there. Bench 1. Out of Andreas, Martinelli, Saka, and Rashford, I say Martinelli. Again, hate it. Captain Haaland, Andreas, or Havertz. No Mitrovic. Will Havertz play? If Havertz plays twice, I would captain him over Haaland. I don't know about captaining Andreas over Haaland. I don't know if Havertz will start twice though. The thing I can't work out is whether Potter's going to rotate in the FA Cup game. I'd probably captain Havertz. Would you bring in Saka on 4 yellows if you already own Mitrovic? I mean, if you could, if you really want to play it safe, you could go for a different Arsenal midfielder instead. But I still really like Saka. Arsenal will not beat Newcastle. Yeah, maybe not. Thoughts on Rashford captain? I think he's okay, but I think there's better options. Robertson or Bueno, and would you keep Fernandes? I would probably keep Fernandes just for this one fixture, unless you got something better you can do with the move. Trippier's not missing because he had a card. He's only on 4. Robertson or Bueno? I mean, Robertson's bench, so I'd play Bueno. Bench one of Cancelo and Trippier. Lots of people are saying they would bench Trippier. I think I would bench Cancelo. Only because, like, if we knew Cancelo was definitely going to start, and I do think he will start, but if we knew for sure, I think you'd probably play Cancelo. But there's got to be some slight doubts about whether that happens. Like, slight doubts. Ream for James. I just wouldn't go near the Fulham defence. What's your thoughts behind Captain and Mitrovic purely on the double? Yeah, basically. Like, let's not forget, he's been pretty reliable. He's on penalties. His minutes are good. As far as we know, he's fully fit. Leicester and Chelsea. I mean, put it this way. Are any of you back in the Chelsea or Leicester defence this week? Probably not. In which case, Fulham could score in both games. Andreas and Martinelli, who would you bench? Martinelli, I think. Can you give my kids Molly and George a shout out? Shout out to Molly and George. And tell me if I should captain Andreas. Depends who else you've got. Possibly. Newcastle travelling to London on a cold Tuesday night after playing Saturday. They're going to be well up for it. Remember, they haven't had Europe or anything else to deal with most of the season. Wife having a baby as we speak, and all I can think about is, do I bench Martinelli for Andreas? Surely not. Surely not. Am I sure about choosing Mitrovic as captain? I think I am, yeah. I think I'm fairly sure about just rolling the transfer out at this point. I don't know. There's still part of me that thinks, could I just get Cucurella, get the guaranteed double this week? It's Man City at home, Fulham away, though. I feel like I'm going to regret not doing it. And then next week they got Palace at home. If he plays in that game as well, it's happy days. I mean, how quickly will Chilwell be back? That is the issue. Kukure's fixtures are okay. It's how good his minutes. Yeah, Thiago Silva is another one that I definitely considered. Dude. It's so tough. It's so tough. So many green fixtures. I know. Okay, everyone can stop pretending their wife is in labour now. I think I am. I don't know. No, Mitrovic captain. I'm pretty much going to do. I think. I don't like saying 100% because then someone always comes back and moans when I change my mind. And like we've still got 40 minutes. You know me. I might get a sudden. I don't know. Some of the time when I'm kind of unsure, I feel like there's a good chance that I'll just change my mind. But with Mitrovic captain, I'm pretty happy. It's the transfer I'm all concerned about. Am I considering Tsimikas for a -4 as he's starting today? No. Because as soon as Robertson's fit, he'll be back in, won't he, for most of the games. Like Tsimikas might play the odd one, but yeah. Would you sell Kane and Amaron for Sterling Mitrovic? Or sell Nunez and Amaron for Mount and Mitro? Plan is to reverse transfer next game. We can take a hit. If you're going to reverse it, I would probably just do one of the moves and just do Kane to Mitrovic, I think. Wait, who does Kane have this week? Spurs have Palace away, is it? Palace away? Yeah. Palace away or Nunez Brentford away. I don't know. Are we in a position where Kane is worse than Darwin? I don't know about that. I'd probably do Darwin to Mitro in that case and then reverse it. Is Robertson in the squad? Do I put him on my bench? I don't know if he's in the squad, but apparently Tsimikas is starting. So whether Robertson's on the bench or not, I don't know. Play Martial or Andreas. Andreas, I guess. James Penn, thank you. Why are you not as confident in Mount captain? Any particular reason? I guess I'm being a little bit put off by. Oh, I don't want to kick the camera by how they played in the last game. But also, like, even in the game that Mount scored, it was outside of the box. And I don't remember him being in the box a huge amount. So I just don't know what kind of goal threat's there. Like, I really picked in because of minutes and because we had the wild card. I think if Mitrovic had got the yellow card and was missing Leicester, then I would have definitely gone for Mount. But there is a chance he just plays both of these games. Advantages to captain Andreas over Mitrovic Mount. No yellow card, whereas Fulham's fixtures better goal assistant, expected minutes than Mount. I'm not sure I fully buy that Andreas Pereira's got much better expected minutes than Mount. I guess there's almost no chance of Andreas missing either game, but I feel like that's kind of similar with Mount. But maybe you're right. Yes, the deadline does start in 36 minutes and 40 seconds. Make sure you get your transfers in. Hold Walker and save a transfer or sell for Azpilicueta. There are some, like, Fantasy Football Scout predicting Walker to start. I don't know about that. I'm a bit more confident in Cancelo starting than Walker. But I feel like Walker's probably got to go sooner rather than later. It's really difficult. I wish I had like a really good answer for you, but ultimately, even if Walker plays against Chelsea, we don't know for sure that he'll play the next couple. It's the final countdown. Rashford has 8 goals in his last 4 games against Bournemouth. Is that true? I mean, it's just a good fixture, isn't it? Not many people are talking about Rashford captain because 1, there's a double game week, and 2, Haaland exists, and people are just afraid to go against Haaland, and a lot of the time for good reason. Why no love for Sterling? He's just a bit expensive to get in, really. I think he's a good option. Trippier or Dyer? Trippier. Is De Bruyne to Salah worth it for the next few game weeks? I have a free transfer 1.4 in the bank. The thing is, De Bruyne's got a pretty much guaranteed, not 100%, but got a double game week next week, so I'd probably just keep De Bruyne at this point, I think. Start two of Andreas, Martinelli and Nunez. And Andreas and Nunez. Again, absolutely hate it. It's the final countdown should be your deadline stream song. Yeah, I get copyright struck. I'd have to pay a lot of money probably to get the rights to that. Were you in the school choir? No. Don't think so. I played the cello for a while. You just know Darwin is going to have the most Darwin game ever. Whether this results in no returns or a hat trick is a mystery. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Am I planning on keeping Mitrovic for a while? I guess right now I kind of am, yeah. Make your own version. It's the deadline countdown. I think they might have something to say about that. Quite possibly. De Bruyne to Sterling for captain for 1 week punt. If you really want to take a punt, yeah, but I probably wouldn't do that. When do yellow cards get scrapped? It goes up to 10 yellow cards for suspension once the team of the player has gone through 19 games. So even if, like, I don't know, let's say a player was on 4 yellow cards and they'd only played 4 games out of the 18 the team have played, as soon as the team gets to 19, it's up to 10 for all those players. Why have I sold Nketiah for Mitrovic? Because we all love a double game week. People can talk all they like about the fact it's only a double. You wouldn't do that if there was a double game week. But when it gets down to the business time, which is just before the deadline, everyone realises double game weeks are great and they want the players in. And plus everyone else is doing it, so it feels safer. Vice Captain Mount or Pereira? Mount, I think, for me. Is Wan-Bissaka worth a punt? Can't afford Shaw? Nah, because once Dallow's back, Wan-Bissaka's minutes won't probably be as good. Whereas for Shaw, they're probably going to be good either way, I think. Nervous of Mitrovic's yellow card? Yeah, lots of people will be. But it's done now. You've done it already. I guess it's not locked in. You could reverse. Do. Almost 10k watching. Good job, lads. Good job, lads, indeed. Would you bench Martinelli? Or I need to put this in the ticker, but no one's going to read it anyway, are you? Tap dance with your fingers. Are we overlooking next week's doubles? For example, I have one free transfer and only Haaland doubling next week. Would Rolling be the play over getting Mitrovic? I think it's probably... The problem with next week's double is you got Spurs with an awful double and you've got Man City, but which 3 Man City players are going to be nailed to play both games? I mean, you would probably guess Haaland, maybe De Bruyne and Ederson. I mean, I wouldn't be that confident on Cancelo right now. Definitely can't be confident on Foden either. So which players are you even going to get? So I think as a priority, going for Mitrovic this week is probably better, to be honest. I know that sounds crazy because Man City is so good, but they're just not a good team to go for right now because you just don't know who's going to play, apart from those couple of players that I mentioned. Who would you play, Bueno, Cancelo, or Dunk? Probably Cancelo. Tendi item. I always pronounce that wrong. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Member 5 months, thank you very much. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. I only have Kepa, Kukureya, Aya, and Andreas for the double. Is it worth getting Mitrovic or just hold Wilson? I think Wilson to Mitrovic is good, to be honest with you. Martinelli to Mount. I'd probably just hold unless you want to captain Mount, which I guess you probably don't. Callum, thank you. Femi, member for 5 months as well. What's your opinion on Watkins and Villa's fixtures? I just... Watkins is just one of those players where it just... He is a Zaha, right? You get him in, he looks good, he gets you some points. Sorry, he looks good, he gets the odd goal here or there. You bring him in because they got the fixtures, and he just stops scoring. And I know that's not a logical thinking whatsoever. I just cannot trust Watkins. I think there's better ways to use your forward slots, is my main point. I think Villa's fixtures are pretty good. You could maybe look at someone like Luka Dean, like a few people are. Mings, if you want to go a bit cheaper, I guess. Although I think Luka Dean's like 4.6 anyway. But Watkins, like Darwin Nunez, Kane, Haaland, Mitrovic, Wilson, I feel like they're all better options. I mean, maybe not Martial because of the fixtures, but I don't know. I feel like I've got to say he's okay because of the fixtures, but I just can't trust him. If you're going to go for a Man United defender and you've got the money, I would go for sure. Kulusevski and Wilson out for Mount and Mitrovic -4. I don't know what I got to be honest, I don't know what the latest is on Kulusevski. I don't know if he's going to play. Because the thing is, I think it was only supposed to be short term, but obviously it's a quick turnaround. So I guess I'm actually okay with those moves for a -4, yeah. What's your prediction for the effective ownership of Haaland, Mount and Mitrovic? I don't think Mount will be anywhere near 100%. Maybe 30 or 40, if that. I don't think he'll go up too much. Haaland will still be over 100% effective ownership, I think, because people are too worried to go against. I think Mitrovic will creep over 100. I think too many people are talking about him now. Yeah, Luka Dean's a troll as well. The difference is you've got 5 defender slots and you don't have to play him every week. When you got Watkins, he takes up 1 of 3 forward slots and you'll always feel like you've got to play him. Like one's not, and you know, Luka Dean's only 4.6 million. Really tempted on a Pulisic punt. I know he started the last 2 and he's looked okay, but I can't put any faith in Pulisic starting both games in the double. That's what worries me. Do you know the player that nobody has mentioned, I don't think, in the stream chat that I've thought about? Is Perisic instead of Shaw or Kukureya, because he's got a double game next week, even though it's awful. Might play in the front 3 this week, but he's not even guaranteed to play every week. Get it out of my head. Don't go for Perisic. Don't go for Perisic. All defenders right now are just rubbish. They are just rubbish. Rubbish. You've gone too far with that Perisic shout. That's where the line is it? Yeah, he's not guaranteed minutes. It's a problem. Bet Kovacic ends up being the best double game week player. You never know. You just never know. They're not all rubbish. Shah, Trippier, White, and Bueno are all really good. Come on. We can't say... Like, Ben White is fine, but he's not very exciting. And Bueno is really good. Come on, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. If you're afraid of if you don't want to go for Mitrovic captain, just don't go for him. Like, it's fine. It's fine. If you're sure you don't want to go for him. I think it's a good week to stay off Twitter, though, because if Mitrovic gets a yellow card, everyone that didn't captain him, there's going to be so many I told you so's. Fulham are playing Tuesday evening at 7:45. There's 3 other games on at the same time. And they're not even all on TV either, so we don't even get to watch Mitrovic get his yellow card. Here he is, Seb on goal. Foden or Martinelli bench? I would bench Foden. I feel like you've got to bench Foden out of those two because one is guaranteed to play at home. The other one is not guaranteed to play away from home. Honestly, I don't think Martinelli and Foden is that close of a call, personally. I would definitely go Martinelli. Mitrovic missing another penalty, yeah, possibly. Imagine that, missed penalty, yellow card. Misses a penalty, gets so frustrated he just takes his shirt off anyway. Yellow card. I don't know if Martinez is when you say Martinez, you're talking about Villa Martinez or Man United Martinez. So I don't think the Man United one is guaranteed to start, but I think when he is fit and back properly available and Ten Hag's happy with him, he'll be pretty much nailed on again. But from those defensive positions, you need a solid 4 to 7 pointers. You are not getting 12 from a defender unless they score. Yeah. If Mitrovic gets it, well, they can assist and get 3 bonus points. If Mitrovic gets the yellow card, will Mount be captain for the second game? No. As soon as your player plays 1 second of a match in a game week, they are your captain. So if Mitrovic kicks the ball from kickoff and he pulls a muscle from doing that and the ref blows straight away and he goes off, he is your captain. Until the next game week, when you can choose someone else. God, imagine if Mitrovic pulls his muscle from kickoff, has to go off. That'd be funny. That is the kind of thing you just would have to laugh at, right? You can't get annoyed about that. There's never a bad week to stay off Twitter. That is also kind of true. Leroy Sané owners. I mean, it's not quite the same, but Mane, triple captain, similar thing, getting injured like 24 minutes, I think it was, into the first game. Like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. I don't think it was triple captain, though. So, not quite as bad, maybe. Or Ruben Loftus-Cheek is back in Chelsea training. So, I wonder if that might make Azpilicueta a slight doubt. But again, he's only back in training. Who knows when he'll be ready to kind of go. I feel like I've missed a bunch of questions. What week are you looking to bench boost? Honestly, no idea right now. Let's wait and see what doubles get announced and when wildcards are and all that kind of stuff. Gabriel, Trippier, Wilson and Nketiah bench 2. Probably the defenders. Start Robertson over Cancelo? No, because he's on the bench. Sorry, Tsimikas is starting. I don't know if he's on the bench or in the squad. Or out of the squad, sorry. Start Andreas for Rashford, Saka, Martinelli, Darwin. Probably Martinelli. Darwin or Kane to Mitrovic? Darwin, I guess. Captain Mount, Andreas or Mitrovic. Rashford to Saka or Odegaard for next week. Let's come back to it next week, because if Saka gets the yellow card, you wouldn't go for him. But probably, I think Saka is still better than Odegaard. But it depends. If you need the extra money, you could definitely go for Odegaard if you wanted to. But I think with penalties, Saka's still best. Bench 2, Gabriel, Trippier, Nketiah and Wilson. The defenders. Bench 1 of 3, Martial, Pereira and Odegaard. Probably Martial. Son for De Bruyne or Foden for Mount. I would just keep... if you're going to do one, I would do Foden to Mount. Play Trippier or Gabriel. Probably Gabriel. Captain Havertz or Andreas. Havertz, I think, just about. I hope he starts twice. Ward, Trippier, Almiron and Bueno bench boost. I don't think so. Although, to be honest, you're probably not far off with that bench. I just think there's so many big double game weeks to come. I would hope we can probably get a bench out of, 4 doublers. Bench Martinelli or Martial. I can't remember what I've said before now. I think I'd bench Martinelli. But it's so close. Kane, Haaland or Andreas for captain. I don't know about Andreas captain over Haaland. But I'd still be tempted because it's a double. I'll say Haaland. Luca Dean for James for -4, then bench Trippier. No, I wouldn't do that. Rashford or Andreas captain. Probably Andreas. Oh, I got a cough. It's tickling my throat. Excuse me. Start Martinelli or Martial. I say Martial just because of the fixture. Do you think Smith Rowe will come into the 11 since Jesus is injured? I honestly think Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Nketiah will continue starting where they're fit and available. I think if I roll the transfer this week, I need Man United to not get a double in 20. Otherwise, it was a mistake not to just get Shaw this week. So if Man United get a double, I would just end up getting a Man United defender, but I'll have to pay more for them, and I'll probably have missed out on points this week as well. I don't know. No one's 100% sure about the doubles. What was annoying, though, was Ben last night said, Ben Krellin, he said that if Man United get a double in 20, they're then also quite likely to get one in 22 as well, which is mad. But it's not guaranteed. But as Ben has said, it's not guaranteed either way. Get Perisic. No, I can't get Perisic. Ben is also saying, before the Game Week 20 deadline, we'll find out whether Man City and Spurs will double in Game Week 20. Because obviously there is a chance that doesn't happen. Whether Man United and Crystal Palace Leeds will double in Game Week 20. More info on which teams will blank in Game Week 25. We'll have a better idea of which blanks could move to Game Week 25, which is possible if... Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. If there are going to be double Game Week fixtures in 21, then they should be announced before the Game Week 20 deadline. And a few important FPL players could receive their 5th booking of the season in Game Week 19 and be banned. Like Saka, for example. Which is why I'm tempted to roll. It will be annoying when Luke Shaw gets another clean sheet and 3 bonus, though. Top 5 captain picks. Mitrovic. Then just Mitrovic. Yeah, Simicast is starting, apparently. Bench Martinelli, Saka for Martial. Probably Martinelli, but I mean, you could easily just play Martinelli over Martial if you wanted to. Ward. Okay, let's see what the question is. Bench boost this week. Ward, Shaw, Wilson, and Cancelo on my bench. I mean, if you're gonna bench boost in a single game week, that's the kind of bench to do it. There is a chance. Basically, all I can say is there is a chance that there's a better opportunity to bench boost later on in a double game week. It's not guaranteed. That's all I can really tell you. Whether or not you'll ever have as good a single game week bench as that is hard to know. Ward's got a decent fixture, although obviously we're all hoping that Mitrovic scores. Luke Shaw, good fixture. Wilson's got a tough fixture, but he's got penalty. Should start, I'd hope. And obviously Cancelo hopefully going to start. I would say there's probably enough concern there about minutes and stuff that I probably wouldn't do it. Like, what if Cancelo doesn't start? What if, he comes off the bench? What if Wilson is kind of eased in, only gets 60 minutes? So I probably wouldn't do it myself, but you're not far off doing it if you want to do it in a single game week. Triple captain Mitrovic or wait for Haaland game week 20. I'd probably wait for Haaland game week 23 or even later in the season. I wouldn't triple cap. Like, I like Mitrovic and I'm willing to risk the yellow cards. I'm not willing to risk it for a triple captain. Simicast for a 1 week punt, 3 second transfer. I would just roll the transfer, if I'm honest with you. I mean, if Tony ends up playing tonight, and I don't know if he will, like, I don't even know if Liverpool will get a clean sheet, to be honest with you. So I don't think Tsimikas is that exciting, really. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Bench Almiron, Rashford or Martinelli. That one's easy. I think you bench Almiron. Like, if you've got Almiron and a bunch of good midfielders, he's got Arsenal away. I think you just bench him. Just hope for the best. Jonas, thank you. Simon, bench boost if you've got 14 good players and can't decide. I wouldn't... Just because you can't decide is not necessarily a good enough reason for a bench boost. It's going to depend on the actual bench. I don't think most people are in a position where they should be bench boosting this week, if I'm honest. Bailey, a good option. Plays as a striker with Watkins for Villa and Emery. I think he's a nice cheap option, yeah. Whether or not he's better than Andreas Pereira, I don't really know, to be honest with you. One of the reasons I really like playing Andreas Pereira this week is if Mitrovic does get the yellow against Leicester, Andreas will be on penalties against Chelsea. Jonas, thank you again. Keep Kulusevski or sell for Rodrigo Odegaard. I would sell probably, and Odegaard looks good to me. Who to bench from Trippier, Cancelo, White? Probably Trippier or Cancelo. I think I'd bench Cancelo, but I'm not 100% on that. I'd play Ben White over the other two, I think. I've not made a transfer yet. No, I'm probably going to stick. I think I'm going to stick. I'm very close to going for Cucurella or Shaw, but I'm just going to value the extra information and the extra free transfer next week. It could be wrong. Like, I've probably... I don't know. I need Mason Mount to do well, and I need one of my defenders to come in that's not Trippier. I need Cancelo to do well, basically, and Mount. And I think Kepa's still going to be fairly low owned. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I get a small red arrow at least this week, maybe even worse, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know. Yeah, it looks like the team for Liverpool was leaked a while back and Tsimikas is starting. Oxlade-Chamberlain playing 3 games in a row. They need Gakpo. I mean, I like Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he can never stay fit. Kanate's back in as well. Fabinho's back in as well. That's quite big. I'm worried about Darwin Núñez. I've got to be honest. In some ways, I'm more worried about Darwin Núñez than I am about Haaland captainers. Darwin is going to cook. I don't know if I can get it. Like, it sounds like something the kids would say. He's going to cook. I'm just 2 points behind you, and the difference in overall rank is 30k. Yeah, it is fine margins this week. By the way, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, and subscribe too, because why not? Is Salah legit? Salah is legit, yeah. I've also seen lots of people. There's a lot of people in the FPL community I'm worried that are going hungry as well, because for the last couple of weeks, when Salah's played, like Salah played before De Bruyne the last 2 weeks, and I've just seen, you know, okay, Salah got points, but now De Bruyne is going to play We Feast. And then he blanked. And then in Game Week 18, I saw loads of tweets about how De Bruyne is going to get loads of points and they're going to feast. And yet, for both game weeks, there's been no feast, and I'm just worried if those people are going hungry. Maybe this is the week that De Bruyne feasts. I haven't seen Tony news. You've jinxed it. Yeah, De Bruyne is going to smash it now. Feast FC. They're just going hungry. I feel for them. That would have felt much better if Salah had actually scored last week, but hold Almiron or transfer for Andreas or Odegaard. I mean, that's a good question. I would only go to Andreas if you're then going to make use of the money later on. I don't think I would do the other. Almiron to Odegaard. I mean, I think Odegaard is better going forward. So, yeah. Bench 2, play 2. Trippier, White, Walker and Almiron. I would play Almiron and then I would play one of the defenders and I would probably play Ben White. 2 free transfers. James Cucurella, Saka to Mount. Thoughts? I wouldn't do Saka to Mount. James Cucurella is okay and then roll, I think. Who to bench out of Cancelo, White or Trippier? Who to bench out of Cancelo, White or Trippier? Cancelo. I don't like it though. Darwin to Mitrovic or Saka to Mount or both. 2 free transfers. I'd only make one, and if getting Mitrovic is the only way is to get rid of Darwin, I'd probably do that. But again, hate it. Darren, 18 months. Thank you very much. Am I locked in? I'm semi-locked in. I think I'm locked in with captaincy. I'm still not sure about transfers, but I'm probably just going to roll. I think. I'm probably going to roll. I just got a bad feeling about Chelsea defenders. I think I might regret not getting Luke Shaw. I'm a little bit worried about it. Do you know what my main worry with getting Luke Shaw is now? Is who do I bench? Who do I bench? I guess I bench Cancelo, but if I think he starts, I think I just risk it. I'm a little bit. There is a part of me that's worried because a lot of people are bringing in Luke Shaw this week, and I guess there's a chance he goes up in price again. And when he was 4.8 million not too long ago, and now he's already up to 5. Let me see where he's at now. Yeah, he's getting close to another rise. I mean, I still think 5.1 million is okay. It's not like I'm struggling for money or anything in my team. Reece James probably won't drop again anytime soon, so that's probably okay. The problem is the game week 20 deadline is not until the 13th of January. So after this, we've got 11 days off. So be interesting to see what happens. Also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch the Chelsea-Man City match. 8 o'clock on Thursday evening. Don't know about that. I don't know if I'll be able to watch any of the matches on Wednesday either. Interesting. But I will be able to see Mitrovic get his yellow card. I'm playing Cancelo over White. Am I wrong? I wouldn't say you're wrong, no. It's quite funny, though, because after the Man City game, I was kind of like, this is why I don't make rage transfers. I'm not saying I was close to transferring out Cancelo, but I was worried. But now we've got closer to the deadline, I'm thinking, yeah, he's almost certainly going to come back in, and then hopefully he just keeps his place. I need him to play well, though. Because I want him for Game Week 20. Would you take a -4 for Lulu to Saka? Is that Kulu? Possibly, yeah. Although Saka is on 4 yellows, that's a bit of a worry. Bench 1, Almiron, Martinelli, Trippier or Saliba. Trippier, maybe. Bench Martinelli or De Bruyne for Andreas. Oh my god, De Bruyne. But I tell you what, you're going to miss a big feast. Bench Martinelli or Martial. Martinelli. Thoughts on Salah, Mitrovic, Rashford, Fernandes, captains? My gut wants Rashford. If your gut wants Rashford, you could go for it. I would captain Mitrovic. Bench Saka to play Darwin in front with Haaland and Mitrovic. Oh, Saka and Darwin. I'd probably play Saka. Why have you got James when he's back 3rd of February? He's just on the bench. Foden or Martinelli? Martinelli. Bench De Bruyne or Martinelli for Andreas De Bruyne. Bring in Silva for Dunk. Thiago Silva or play Cancelo and roll. Play Cancelo and roll. It's a shame, yes, it's a shame that I didn't just... I mean, obviously he got 15 points, but it's a shame I just didn't just start for Mitrovic over Wilson, because I did consider it. And if I'd done that, I could have just... I would have probably done James Cucurella last week, actually. I don't think I would have had 2 free transfers this week, but if I did, I would just go Shaw and roll. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. Didn't happen. No point worrying about it now. Just hope I don't fall too far behind this week. Considering bench boosting with Ward, Pereira, Trippier and Patterson, would you do it? I'd be tempted, but I probably wouldn't in the end. If Pereira is your only double game week player, would you captain him? Probably. But going against Haaland with Andreas, don't get me wrong, I'm going for Mitrovic over Haaland, and that feels just about justifiable. Andreas over Haaland, I'm not quite so sure. But I feel like because of the way I play the game, I probably would do it if I was in that situation. Mitrovic may be a red card to miss for the cut. He's not going to go out of his way to get a red card. I don't think. Is it smart to go with Kepa as captain? I mean, again, if Kepa was my only choice for a double game week player, I would be tempted to just go for him. But I can absolutely see why people wouldn't want to do that over Haaland. Mitrovic might miss the Chelsea game. Yeah, all taken into account. Runs aground, you left another message, you are never around. Everson to Kepa for -4. Who's your other goalkeeper? I'd be tempted to do that, yeah. Rashford captain, good luck. Haaland is most captain in the official FPL poll. Yeah, he'll be over 100% effective ownership. Which, to be honest, for me, like, don't get me wrong, recently I haven't really wanted to go against Haaland. I haven't even wanted to think about it because his effective ownership is just so high. And if you go for Salah and he blanks, it hurts, right? Especially if Haaland obviously does something. But this week, I think people underestimate double game weeks. I really do. I think they always remember the bad ones and they don't remember the good ones. I saw a really good post. I think it was from Baker343 FPL. I think that's his handle. And he said, you know, everyone's talking about Dennis and Josh King, right, who didn't do anything. Everyone's forgetting about Richarlison and his heroics last season in the double game. And that was my point on the video earlier. Everyone remembers the bad ones. So if people are going to captain Haaland, he's got massive ownership. Of course, it will hurt if he does really well again. And he could get a hat-trick against Chelsea. But going against that with a double game week player, that's the kind of thing I can get behind, to be honest with you. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But I would make the same choice over and over again. Yeah, I am. Oh, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw. He's tempting, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't know. I'm jealous of people that have got 2 free transfers and can just get Shaw in this week. 'Tis a little bit annoying, to be honest with you. I left another message, you were never around. What I will say is, I think right now, I think I've kind of gone off the Chelsea defenders. If I was going to bring a defender in, I think I probably would just go for Shaw like everyone else seems to be doing. I think I would just forego the Chelsea defenders. I'm not necessarily seeing a clean sheet in either game. I've already got Kepa as well, and I think Shaw is a better long-term option than Cucurella or even Thiago Silva or someone like that. So that is probably what I would do. But I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't know who I would bench. That's part of the issue now. Like if I bought Shaw in, I would have to bench Cancelo, I think, or possibly Trippier, and I just don't really like it that much. Maybe it'll be a bad move. Maybe it'll be a bad move. Yeah, get those teams locked in if you haven't already. I'm just going to double check mine. So Patterson first bench, then Greenwood, then Reece James. I'm holding at this point, right? You know, maybe I just hold Reece James for game week 20 and 21 because they've got Liverpool away anyway, and then I'll have him back for Fulham on February the 3rd. I'll just have him back for this great run of fixtures. Maybe I'll just hold him the whole time. I'll wait for that 20-pointer, and in the meantime, I'll get a bunch of 0s and 1s. Yeah, 1 minute 24 seconds until the deadline. I'm just gonna double. I hate feeling like you've missed something. So Patterson first bench, then Greenwood, who probably won't get any minutes. I'm hopeful that most of my players will start this week, so I shouldn't have to worry about Patterson. Reece James is red flag, so I don't think he'll drop that quick. And most people who are going to get rid of him have already got rid of him. No notification for your stream. What did I miss? Well, there might have been an issue because I was streaming on a different stream and that broke, so I had to start this one. And it's been fine, so happy days. You have 1 minute to change Mitrovic's captain. Nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold firm. Mitrovic captain. Mason Mount vice captain. Hope for the best. You're still hungover from New Year's. That must have been some night. I'm feeling pretty good. Reece James probably would get injured first game back. Sure, good defense, good fixture. Don't overthink it. I would say I'm not overthinking it. I would say I've thought about it. Lots of people benching Trippier though. Damn. I'm going to regret not having him. We locked in? Oh, no sure. Probably going to regret that. There we go. We're locked in. We are locked in for double. I just realised I didn't put double game week in my stream title, like I should have done. Yeah. Put it in now. Double game week 19. Double. There we go then. No Luke Shaw. Mitrovic is the captain. We've got 11 days off now to the next deadline. Fingers crossed. Try not to worry about it now. We'll watch Darwin Núñez absolutely smash it later. Yeah, remember to give the stream a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already before you all rush off. Why do I always feel like I've missed something? I absolutely do as well. I got the same team as you, but I have Andreas instead of Mount and Shaw instead of Cancelo with 3.2 million spend. Who should I bring in? Let's wait and see next week. Next game week. Couldn't decide my transfers. I did James to Konza. Interesting, but I would have definitely gone for Luka Dean instead. Gakpo won't start today, I don't think. Was Luka Dean a mistake? I'll tell you next game week. So who have we got tonight? Liverpool. And then tomorrow we've got Arsenal. We've got Trippier and Ben White and Gabriel and Martinelli and Saka. Got Patterson, Mitro, Rashford against Bournemouth. It's going to be good. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, do give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm off. It's been a busy day. Thanks for coming back and watching after the World Cup. And I will. I don't know when I'm going to be next be live or making videos. To be honest, it's a bit annoying because you kind of need all these games to finish. But I'm not going to be able to wait for all these games to finish to make videos. I don't quite know what I'm going to do. But do you know what? I'll figure it out. We might do a knee-jerk stream. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Anyway, I'm off. I'll think about that later on. Goodbye. Like, subscribe. See you later. Come on, Mitrovic.